Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO. Free, impartial advice on all your debt.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Missed you last night, Johnny Nelson.
Yeah, man, I was working, my brother. I'm working. I didn't mess about. Straight in, boom, bed, done.
Anyway, we thought we'll have a quick catch up on last night's activities at the Wembley Arena. Johnny, sum up for me Joshua's performance. Impressed or still questions?
I was impressed. And what I was impressed with the fact that you can see he's trying to adapt and change his style, or add more to his style, be more of try more of the sweet science. It wasn't perfect, but you could see what was happening. You could see what he was doing. You could see he was trying to implement what he did in the gym into the ring. I think last night was part of the dress rehearsal for that pot of gold, what he calls it, and because now he's working on different aspects of his game. He's using his footwork. He's trying to box. Now it wasn't smooth, but it was smoother. He showed parts of his boxing that I did not seen before. I think it will improve even more. Look at that and think, right, what didn't I do? What should I have done? What could I have done? So you can see a kid learning a boy that turned into a man. He's basically understand, I can't just go in and blast everybody out. I want to, but it's not that easy. I've got to box and bash first.
The third round, it looked inevitable that he would get him out of there. I think at one point Pulev kind of turned his back on Joshua and kind of stumbled towards the ropes. People say
fair. The referee should have actually stopped the fight there because he turned his back on him. And I mean, and do you remember when Kingston, Jamaica, George Foreman against Fraser? Foreman hit Fraser, bouncing off the floor. Fraser switched, turned around, man. Turning around and say, "I'm out of here. I don't want none of this." I ain't saying that it was that devastating or that shocking, but what I'm saying is the same kind of shot where it hit him to the point where Mama turned in the corner, and it wasn't that he was pushed there; he was punched there in the head. Referee had every right to stop it if he wanted to, but you've got to commend Pulev for his toughness. He's tough, and he took some raw licks, and he just kept coming back, kept trying because he believed in his heart of hearts that he was going to win that night, and he tried everything. And Joshua, for a big guy, was actually rolling, which made me smile. Big guys usually slip back or block, but he was trying everything. So as I said, what Josh has been working on, I think, one, his mental attitude when he's in there. Two, he's trying to sharpen up his boxing. And again, his words are, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. And that's what he was doing. And I could have done with a bit more jab, using the jab, use it to rest off. Even when you're tired and gassed, because after that third round, he kind of blew a gasket. As a fighter, what happens is, when you're fighting, when you get to round 4, between round 4 and round 6, your energy levels drop until you get your second wind, and then boom, you're off to finish through. Because he put that onslaught on in the third round, that was his dip after that. So for 4 and 5, his energy levels dipped. 6, he was back in again, and that's when he started to fly again, back up again. So, and it's called your second wind. Every fighter goes through it. It happens at a certain stage in the middle of the fight. The earlier the better, but it is dangerous because your opponent's still fresh enough to tear you up. But that's what he did, so good on him. I'm happy for him.
Few people are a little bit critical of the fact that he didn't finish the job in the third round and kind of.
Come on, man, you can't.
Who
are these people?
Picking holes here. People picking holes here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He boxed, and you got the knockout. And you got some entertainment where my man went down, he got back up, kept coming back again. He was a live opponent. Remember, that was his mandatory. The mandatory is somebody you have to fight. It's not somebody you pick. He had to fight him. So and that's via the governing bodies. He had to fight him. That wasn't his choice. I'm quite sure he'd have probably chose somebody else. Yeah. So I think what he did there was he showed that he's able to adapt and learn.
What did you think about when he was asked on Sky about whether it is going to be Fury next? He didn't, I suppose, give the answer that the public really wanted.
They want a definitive yes or no. And he said if the man would have bounced his Fury, then make it be him. And I tell you one thing I noticed about the whole week, that and it was a Klitschko style trick. Klitschko controlled his whole environment, the timing of when he'd do his public workout, how he'd conduct an interview, how he'd answer questions, and you could see he was taking control, or tried to take control of his environment. He refused to answer or even discuss Tyson Fury before this fight. He refused to answer or really discuss Tyson Fury after the fight. You know, he's thinking, well, nobody's going to pressure me. And you've seen a drop of his crudeness, his roughness now, because he's thinking, why am I playing the game? Everybody else ain't. Fury ain't. Wilder ain't. White ain't. So now that little PC-friendly Anthony Joshua, and that PC-friendly Anthony Joshua has made him probably the richest heavyweight out of a lot of them. Now he's thinking, I don't need to do that anymore, because I don't see why I've got to hold my mouth and not say anything and still get criticised. And the other thing is this: I think he's, and I know this from experience, so I'm assuming he's the same. I think he was hurt badly by the criticism piled upon him from Ruiz 1, and all of a sudden, from being a hero, he's a zero, and everybody's telling him how good he is or how bad he is, what he should do, what he shouldn't do. And it's probably something he's not been used to, because it came in an abundance. So that was one. And the other was he was hurt. So now he's doing it, even though he appreciates the fans, what he's doing is for him and his team. And I like that. He's now become a selfish fighter, and that's what you got to do. You know, if you don't want to make these mistakes and kill yourself trying to please the fans.
What did you make of Tyson Fury's video he made yesterday, kind of in response to Joshua not giving that kind of answer that possibly...
What do you expect? Tyson Fury's got to say something. You know, I expected nothing less from Tyson Fury. Nothing less. So I'd have done the same for Tyson Fury. You know, so I know these guys want to fight. It's show business. Unfortunately, business gets in the way of the show. Now, so this fight's going to happen, and these guys say, yeah, let's throw everything into a pot, because these are the only two active fighters that are bigger than the belts. So they could say, keep all your belts, we're going to fight each other. And the governing bodies look more foolish letting them do that than actually kicking off. And no, the governing bodies look more foolish not letting them do that than actually kicking off.
Well, listen, I know we all want to get excited about the fight between Joshua and Fury, but there are a lot of obstacles in the way. There's the whole WBO mandatory situation. There's the Deontay Wilder situation. There's a lot of things that need to happen in order for this fight to take place. So we can only hope and pray, Johnny.
Yeah, we can hope. You know what? Your background, you've got an amazing living room. Your house is massive. Where are you?
I'm in the hotel.
The hotel that we've been in all week?
Yes, I'm still
here.
The
hotel that everybody's left?
Everyone's left. The cleaners are left, for fuck's sake.
So why go on?
Because I was trying to wait for a couple of interviews that didn't come off, but I thought...
Wow, you're a conscientious G.
I thought I'd give it to the last possible moment before I literally was at breaking point, Johnny.
That right there, man.
That's now, and I've got to leave. I've got to go.
All right, sweet. Peace.
No, I just mean... Yeah, but anyway, listen, a quick catch up anyway. But I'm sure we'll speak to you hopefully before Christmas anyway. Obviously, we've got Callum Smith fighting next week, so yeah, hopefully we'll get grab a word with you around that time anyway.
All right, no problem. Speak soon.
Johnny Nelson,
Get some sleep.
as always, thank you very much.
Nice one, man.
This is something that comes along every now and then in generation, and it's special.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.